What up, guys? Welcome to episode 56 of Fresh Off the Mats here at the Jiu-Jitsu Joes. What?
I wasn't ready.
You weren't ready?
I set the timer. That was ready, but I was trying to get adjusted still.
Oh,
and
you
you
see?
called. I was like, hello.
We live on the edge. God damn it. I hate when, I have to double check. There we go. We're good. We're
You
good.
need a beer.
So what happened? Can you explain to me what happened in overseas? What's going on?
Oh,
with,
Israel?
Yeah, what's going on? All I saw was people posting the flag and saying, I don't know,
People
support.
saying we
It's like the new Ukraine. It's like support for Israel. Like,
there's
everyone's going to switch their bios to the Israeli
it's
flag.
Gonna be like half
and
and half right now because there are some people who all they do is follow the internet
Yeah.
and they're going to support Palestine, but it's in reality it's Hamas, which is
This is why I stay out of things. Though.
Yeah, that's also the thing. A lot of people are too afraid to say like they don't know enough. So like right now,
I don't know
I
shit.
know-
I don't know anything.
I know the base level of what's going on, and I can tell you exactly where my source is. It's real news, no bullshit. That's where I've been getting the updates from, and the people I know that are they're Jewish, so but they've like actually gone over there. I actually have a friend who also served in the IDF, I believe they're called, the Israeli Defense Force. So she actually, I went to high school with her, and she after high school graduated and then went over to Israel to go serve. Like 2 years, or I think she did 4, but either way.
Like their army, their version.
Yeah,
of
so
the
you
army.
you can go sign up if you're Jewish or something like that. I think anyone is welcome to go join their military. I think it's also how like the French Foreign Legion is, where anyone can join the French Foreign Legion from any country, and they'll let you in, and you can like train with their military and all that and do their stuff. But
I just don't know enough. Like
So-
I don't talk about topics like this because you know what it is, man, and I'm sure it's same with you. Our days are so busy that like I don't have the mental energy at the end of the day to be like, what's the latest world
that's
cause?
why I don't watch the news too, and it's also very
Like,
negative.
yeah,
And it's not
and
that
I
I want
don't
to like
have
live in
time.
this safe bubble. It's just
I don't have the energy to spend on negative bullshit when it comes to that. By the end
Yeah.
of the day, dude, I just want to watch something on TV, eat, talk
and
with
I'm
my
also
girlfriend, catch
the
up
way
with
I see
things,
it,
and
I'm
that's
not
it.
in the position to make that change.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do? Sit here and bitch?
Yeah.
So like that's the thing, and so like the whole thing that happened with Israel is Palestine is invading. They opened up a full scale invasion, but it's actually Hamas that is doing it, which is a known terrorist organization.
Afghanistan?
No,
Oh, no.
there's multiple terrorist organizations. Hamas is, I think, mainly from Palestine.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
I think again, base knowledge, based on what I know, but. They have hubs everywhere, just like how ISIS had hubs, how Al Qaeda has hubs. Like the Hamas is everywhere, but Hamas is leading this invasion, which is again a known terrorist organization. And they're attacking them, and they have killed. I believe the last I saw, I think the body count was up to like 1,000. But the thing is, they're not. It's not military casualties. They are slaughtering civilians, and the fucked up part is that there's people here in their safe net of America that are talking shit, saying that these Israelites deserve their death because Israel has been picking on Palestine for hundreds of years. Listen, I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're a civilian, you do not deserve to die because of what your country has done.
Yeah.
That's like saying Americans deserve to die because Biden's in charge, or Trump was in charge, or Obama's in no.
Or they make these decisions to get into wars like,
That is
oh,
not-
you guys send
Yeah,
support
that
to
is not the
Ukraine, so
civilians-
Americans deserve to
that's
die.
not a
Has nothing to
civilian's
do with
fault.
us, dude.
Yeah. It sucks. Even with us, when we went over to Iraq and Afghanistan and Iran and all that, the civilians that our people killed, that's a horrible thing. That is not meant to happen. That is an accident. And it's not.
Casualties.
Yeah,
of
it's
war.
casualties, and it sucks. It is the worst thing. It is never looked at as like, oh well, it's fucking they're part of Iraq, Iran, and Afghanistan. No, dude. Like,
They just didn't hit the lottery, and they were born in a
fucking-
terrible
yeah,
place.
It sucks. It's like those civilians do not deserve
Bro,
death.
the fact that you're an American and you're born in America is literally like hitting the lottery because
And
you
people
were just
don't
you
fucking
just
understand that.
you were just born in this place. Like you could have easily just been
Yeah.
born in
And that's what I
Afghanistan,
think a lot of people
born
don't
in
understand.
Iraq.
Like,
Yeah.
you need to consider that
Yeah.
and understand why these people view things the way they do, why they think the way they do, why we think the way we do. Don't even think about like, well, that's why they should think like us. No, understand that, like, why is it that they're set up this way? Why is it that we're set up this way? And like, what are like why is it?
Dude, a bad day for us is like they didn't have your Starbucks drink at Starbucks this morning. A bad day for them is like, oh shit, my uncle stepped on a landmine this morning.
Seriously,
got blown
dude.
up. Like,
Bro, the fact, bro, if you look up
it's
videos,
all relative.
If
Like,
you look up videos, this is an active, like, they're bombing the cities.
Fuck.
They're not. This isn't like small scale. They have been missiling the cities. They are killing hundreds and hundreds of people. They are kidnapping people off the street and setting them on fire.
oh fuck,
Bro, and it's not just like they're attacking men. It's women, children, and the elderly. Everyone is fair game right now to these people. And that's why I fucking hate it seeing online all these fucking keyboard warriors. Oh, what the Israelites have been fucking mean. Shut the fuck up, bro. These are civilians.
Bro, go to
Like,
somewhere, sign up.
Yeah,
they'll
if you
give
want
a
to talk
gun,
about that shit, go over
fight.
there.
Go
It's
fight.
the same thing with Ukraine.
Bro,
Like,
I don't talk shit
seriously.
because again, I'm not knowledgeable on these topics, so I don't talk about them and I don't discuss them when it comes to like writing statuses on Facebook or Instagram. I don't talk about this stuff because it's not my realm of expertise, so I stay out of it. And B, I'm not gonna make a change in any of this. I think killing innocent people is wrong? Of course I do. But I'm not gonna take any steps in my daily life to go over there and fix something because yeah, maybe it sounds selfish, but like I have a lot going on in my own life, the way a lot of people have a lot going on in their own life.
that's
So
the
if
thing,
I'm not
that's
going
not-
to take the
it's
step
not
to
your
go
own
there and fix
responsibility.
it, and it's not my responsibility, then I'm not going to sit here and talk about it
Yeah.
and be like, my opinion is these guys are good and these guys are bad. Has nothing to do with us, dude. Has nothing. Unless you're deciding as a keyboard warrior to sign up tomorrow and go there, shut the fuck up. Because you're not making any changes. Oh, but it's good to voice your opinion. It gives strength to the cause or whatever. Bro, you just
But
keyboard
here's the
jerking
thing,
off.
But
That's
here's the
all
thing,
you
when
are.
people do that shit too, they say that they're all just going to voice my opinion, but you're not open to conversation.
No.
That's the thing. That you just want to say your shit, but you
Yeah.
don't want to listen to anything
You want to
else.
scream it out into
Yeah.
the ether and hope you get some kind of response back, and it's like,
And most
go
of the time-
scream in a cave.
Yeah, like-
You're gonna get the same reaction.
Exactly. You just want to hear yourself because if someone disagrees with you and they say something else that goes against your thought, you're going to freak out.
You're racist. You're a bigot.
Yeah,
the typical tropes to shut down a conversation.
It's just so stupid, and that's what's so frustrating. Is because that's also the big issue today, especially here. Is like you can't have a conversation with someone of differing ideologies because they're going to freak out on you for thinking something else.
Yeah.
Then they're going to go to the far extreme. You can't just think one thing. You have to be an extremist on it. It's like no, dude.
Bro.
It's like
I don't vote. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I think I've mentioned this before. I don't vote because I'm not knowledgeable again on topics, so I stay out of it because I think it's irresponsible to go and vote based on color if I don't know both policies and both ideas.
people were just like,
But-
I'm Republican, so I vote every Republican. But like, dude,
But God
Someone
forbid that somebody says, "Oh yeah, I'm a Republican." Somebody will be like, "Oh, you must be a racist bigot." Blah blah blah. It's like, bro, you taking this way
Yeah.
to the left and to
it's
the
like,
right.
bro, that's not
extreme.
how it is. It's the same thing on the Democrat side. It's like, bro, just because someone's a Democrat doesn't mean that they're going to be like every single person needs to become trans. Like, no,
Yeah.
dude, those are extreme. We've talked about it a lot. Stop using the 1% outliers of anything as the main basis for your fucking argument. If
insane.
a person is just an outlier, you cannot just describe their whole party as this. And
Yeah.
get off the news. Seriously, get off the news.
Dude, the
'Cause
news is poison.
I love it when people are like, "Oh yeah, I don't watch the news. I only watch CNN." Or I don't watch the news. I only watch Fox. I don't watch the news. I only watch this. I don't watch the news. I only watch. You watch news. You're just biased. Like,
back
dude,
in
that
the day-
builds the bias. Stop
Back
watching
in the
it.
day, the news used to have to give both sides of
Had
an
to.
argument. Had to. It was. I think it was law where they had to represent both sides of an argument. That's gone. They don't do that nowadays. It's all just make sure the people that watch this channel keep watching this
The people
channel.
who fund us
appease
keep
them.
funding.
Yeah, you get the same commercial ads and all this
We're
stuff.
the Republicans.
Bro,
we're
and
the
you people are
Democrats.
dumb as fuck because you're like,
And then
you
they
just
follow
feed
it.
into it.
And then they also, we need to get America back, and then they refuse to join as Americans. That blows me away more than anything. They refuse to have conversations with people. They refuse to be able to actually have open dialogue. They refuse to just be nice to each other.
Yeah.
If you are of a different ideology, they don't want to be respectful.
Yeah.
Like, dude, my favorite is the Trump versus Biden things.
Yeah.
Let you walk up to someone and say you voted for Biden, you're gonna get spit on by someone who wanted Trump it.
Yeah. But
And
the
then-
same
and
goes
then
the other way.
Flip it.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same. And
Yeah.
that is the biggest issue because one, Trump and Biden have no fucking clue who you are. They don't know you.
They don't care.
They don't care about you. They're still, both of them, rich as hell. They don't care. They really don't. And then when it comes down to like the actual ruling of this country,
Yeah.
do you people not realize like it doesn't matter? Like seriously, You voted. People need to go back to. You remember those? What was it called? The School of Rock. The where like they would teach you about the government and shit. It was like a little cartoon we used to watch as kids. They would put it in VHS in school.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
It was something like that. Everyone needs to go watch that.
Bro,
Go learn how our political parties actually get voted in.
I view these guys like with the left and the right, it's just puppets. Like no matter what wants to get passed in government, whether it's Trump or whether it's Biden, these two are puppets behind an actual mastermind who want their agenda to come through. So they dangle these two puppets in front of you so you feel like you're making a choice, but really it's connected to the same person that makes the decision.
It keeps everyone split. They're like, I want to be red, I want to be blue. I want to be red, I want to be
Meanwhile,
blue.
the hands are connected to the same puppeteer. Doesn't matter if the red wins or the blue wins. Doesn't matter. It's the same things are going to get pushed forward on whatever agendas they want to get pushed forward. But it makes you feel like you have a choice. And it makes you feel like you're making a difference in the world. And you feel like if I vote Democrat, if I vote Republican, oh man, I'm really making changes and waves in this world. You're an idiot. Because they're keeping you separate. It's the same fucking person operating both puppets.
Easy.
You're so fucking dumb.
You know what my favorite part is? And then people will look you dead in the face. And this one I get mainly from Trump people. It's the funny. And that's exactly what Trump wants. No, it's not. No, it's not, dude. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not. If you look at everything that he was doing, I'm not saying he was bad because obviously economically wise, it was great. We had cheap gas, cheap food, things were nice. Now you can look at it in deeper economics and try to figure out if it was actually his policies doing it or not.
Yeah.
People don't want to have that conversation either because people also think policies are like very quick. It's not usually the case. Like most of the stuff.
Years for a lot of things that they propose to get pushed through.
Exactly. Like Trump, there's things that Trump did sign and they started immediately. But even if they started immediately,
but a lot of things he signed off of started with Obama.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that. And the same thing with Obama, it was from Bush.
And mind you, this is coming from a dummy who doesn't watch the news or know any of this stuff. It's just what I observed from the vague things I've looked at.
It's also common. You get taught this in history class, dog. If you took an economics class, and if you don't know it, go to college. Go pay like $100-something for a college course. Go relearn it real quick for a semester. Educate yourself again, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, this makes more sense. But then they'll be like, oh, good, colleges are filled with just liberals and stuff now.
It's so insane to me. Yeah, because we're spending more time on like, what do you want to be called today? Instead of the brass tacks of it all and what actually matters. That's what makes me mad, is we're wasting time on these things. Bro, schools have invested tens of thousands of dollars to install a third bathroom in their school. Why would you not put that towards, I don't know, books, computers, paying teachers more? We don't want to talk about paying teachers more, but we want to put $50,000 into putting a third bathroom in for 10-year-olds.
I saw this article, dude. This teacher quit her job to go work. Where was it? Oh, man. Ah, shit. It's like a fast food place, basically.
Okay.
But she quit because she's making 50% more than what she was making as a teacher.
Yeah. You have teachers going to work in fast food. But thank God we put this third bathroom in so 10-year-old Jimmy feels okay to piss sitting down. And it's like, dude, what are we doing, dude? I'm not saying these things are not important at some point down the road. Fine. You're 18 and you feel like you don't feel in the right body and you're identifying wrong.
Still not
good.
Important. It's not
you're an adult. Go make your own personal choice. But for a school to take $50,000 to invest in a bathroom when we already had bathrooms.
You can get new books.
What are we doing? And you have these fucking idiots online who are like, no, we have to do it. It's important for their developmental growth. You know what else is important? Learning fucking science and math. That's important too.
Very important. Which is crazy. And we're losing a lot of it, dude. Like
we're so far behind other countries. China laughs at us. Russia laughs at us. Like, your academics in the U.S. are a joke, dude.
People come over here. They say our college is it. That's all we have now. Our basic
education. And even that is like hit or miss.
It's just because they go to like the Ivy League.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like those are good. But you go to other colleges, we're losing it, dude.
Which we had to nerf that too. Because Harvard couldn't accept too many Asian people who dedicated to being smart that they had to come up with, affirmative action things where they had to take in other races because Harvard was becoming mostly Asian students.
Is it really?
Yes, because they're brilliant people.
Wow.
So they literally had to hinder one class of people to allow other people, white people, African American people,
they made it in.
But it doesn't go by numbers anymore. It doesn't go by like, oh, all these Asian people are in the top 100 They're the cream of the crop. No, we're only going to take 50 of them because we have to have 10% white people, 10% Latino. We have to be diverse. So it's not even getting the brightest and best, sharpest minds. Now it's about let's be the most diverse. And it's like, dude, okay, I get it, diversity and all that, but I want the best qualified surgeon. I don't want the guy who just so happened to be a white dude. If the best qualified person's an Asian guy, that's who I want operating on me. Not some white dude who got in just because they needed 10% white people in the class.
That's ridiculous.
That's insane.
I thought they were getting rid of that.
No. And there was a lawsuit. If you look it up, there was a lawsuit against Harvard for this. Because I think I don't know what's the equivalent of the NAACP for the Asian community, but they filed some kind of lawsuit against Harvard saying you're hindering the Asian community just because we happen to be the most that are getting accepted here based on raw scores. This was like, I want to say like 6-7 years ago, something like that.
June 29th, 2023. There's a
recent
one.
I'm sure it's still going to this day. Bro, it's fucking crazy. It should not be this way, dude. I'm sorry. Fuck feelings. I want the cream of the crop to rise. People should be smarter. It shouldn't just be like you got in because of this variable. That's crazy, dude. You want a dentist working on your teeth who just got in because... No, I want the top-notch guy. I don't want to walk out there with more cavities than I went in. Jacked up teeth. Looking like fucking white trash.
I'm still trying to just figure this out. So, Harvard to defend policies that include race as one factor among many in admission decisions. So they can no longer talk about race.
Yeah.
No, they can't bring up race.
Now... But when this all started because they were hindering the Asian community to get accepted fully. Because they had something crazy, like an abundance of Asian people were getting accepted to Harvard.
So now, if it became 100% Asian, it's because they were not allowed to bring up race.
Not allowed to bring up race.
So that's what this is stopping.
Years ago, what was happening was they realized, oh shit, we have something like a 92% of the people being accepted were Asian. Oh, we got to diversify a little bit. So they hindered, they gave like additional points to if you were another race to get accepted to Harvard that would push you ahead of those Asian people so it would balance out. Okay. That's not how that works, dude. I care about your brain when you're in Harvard. I don't care about what you look like on the outside. That's how it should be.
I also want to know what those schools teach so differently.
I've always wondered that. Did you ever wonder that?
Bro, a lot of times...
Like why is it that they are so...
Like,
and I get it.
Shit.
Yeah, like, but I'm talking about for the
it's a prestigious sort of thing.
So it's not really like, because I get it for like law school or medical school. I can understand like why they would be the best, kind of. Because even then, like, dude, this is hundreds of years later. I feel like the guys over in like Chicago are going to teach top of the line. Stuff too.
So I had a professor at the college I went to, which was like, it was a good college, but it wasn't anything crazy. He taught the same course at Columbia, where they charged 2.5 times more for the same course.
And he's going to teach
He teaches at both. He teaches at Columbia and he teaches at the college I went to. The same course.
So that's kind of the same thing. Like I had teachers who taught
because you're going to get a Columbia degree, you're going to pay more for it. Like, a professor doesn't teach at one college, typically.
Usually.
They teach at different colleges.
Yeah, they're
so
teaching
a professor who just got accepted to Columbia to teach over there also teaches at other junior colleges. Yeah. So, like... The same knowledge, you think he's teaching it in a different way to the people at Columbia versus... No.
You guys pay less, so you get less of my education.
That's not how that works.
That's what I always...
He's like, I literally teach you guys and the people at Columbia the same exact course.
And that's what blows me away. Like, what? Why is it such a...
Because people like to show their dick.
Like...
This is what it boils down to.
Like, seriously, like what is it? Is it just... I can't, again...
My degree says Columbia on it. Ah, ha, ha, ha.
So I'm wondering, like, does it matter as it, like, specifically? So, like, is a doctor who goes to Harvard or... Because I guess everyone knows Harvard.
They say, like, when you go to apply for a job, if you show up with, like, Harvard or Columbia, it's, like, a very, like, wow factor.
But that's only,
you graduated from there. Which basically
jobs.
Translates to, oh, you paid more money to go over there.
Yeah.
Instead of, is your brain that good?
Because all it is that they just make it harder to get in. But if every college did that,
if every Harvard course with a C or an
that's
A+,
what I'm saying. If every college course, if every university was just like, no, if in order to come to our college, you have to have at minimum a 3.5 to a 3.8 or a 4.0 or something, then they're all going to be just as hard to get into as Harvard, right?
Like, what is the true difference? I don't understand. Like, people just go there because of the name, and that's it. Like, is their doctor going to be better than the doctor somewhere else?
If you're a shitty student, but you have enough money to pay to go to Harvard, they'll take you. Trust me, they're not going to say, "Oh, you want to pay us $1 million?" No, we don't want to.
We want to keep our.
We're going to take the money.
Keep our grounds up to date.
Yeah. Now, but if you're a really bright intellectual person, but you don't come from a wealthy family, that's when your scores matter to have to get into these places, because you got to get grants and you got to get accepted, and mommy and daddy can't pay for everything.
Well,
it's very
tricky.
tricky.
How much you have to get grants, because even the GI Bill pays for college. What a lot of people don't know is I can't go to an Ivy League and get it paid for.
Yeah.
Like
there's like a limit.
Yeah, it's like I think it comes out to like $42 a year.
Yeah.
Or no, they cover is it the GI Bill covers $42 a year? Or they cost $42 a year. I think no, they cost more than that. I think.
Yeah.
I forget how much they cost, but I think that's what it is. Their maximum was like $42 a year that the GI Bill will cover. So even if I wanted to go to Harvard,
you could still go to a really good school with that amount.
Oh, dude, it was
bro. But you know what it is, man? It's just it's like you ever meet the person who says, like, you meet them, it's like, oh, nice to meet you, Mr. Smith, and they go, it's Dr. Smith. Like, you know what I mean? Like they can't just accept the courtesy of saying Mr. They have to take it one step further. Oh, ha, this is who I am.
So that was like, so my vet's really cool. I always call her Dr. Amy.
Yeah.
And she even told me, she was just like, you can just call me Amy. I was like, no, you're a doctor. Like, you earned it. But it's not like she ever forces it.
Yeah,
and that's sort of
but this is because you go to her profession. I mean, the people you meet, like when they look.
So that's the thing. Well, we worked together because of dog training, and then that's when I figured out she worked at the vet that I was at because I picked up her dog from there. I was like, oh, so you're the vet here? And she goes, yeah. So that's when I was like, okay, Dr. Amy.
Yeah.
And so that's where I stayed continuing calling her Dr. Amy.
Yeah.
If you're a doctor and I learned that, I'm definitely going to call you doctor.
Yeah,
like,
I would too.
But if you correct me if I don't know you.
And you correct me right after.
That's kind of like a weird thing to just do.
It's like your ego couldn't let it go that you just introduced and said, "Oh, hello, Mr. Smith." Like, because then if we had a conversation,
if we had a conversation, like, "Oh, what do you do?" Well, I'm a doctor. Oh, okay, doctor. Well, I'll just call you doctor from now on, right? Most people understand, like,
that's an ego thing. When somebody has to go out of their way, it's like, how dare this peasant not refer to me as my granted title that I obtained?
It's who's really big on those? PTs, like physical therapists, they get a doctorate in physical therapy, like that. Like, they are doctors. They count as a doctor. But I have met only one PT ever who refers to themselves as a doctor. They all say that they're not, because they're not like MDs.
Yeah,
they're DPTs, and so it's just funny that they don't call themselves doctors, but they could. But they're like the only ones, and I think
isn't there another profession that's like is it chiropractors?
Yep.
I believe or so. Something like that. It's one of those where they're like, "Oh, I'm a doctor." I'm like, "Okay, like, I didn't ask, but
cool, dude."
Bro, I'm willing to call you whatever you want to be called.
Someone doesn't seem like, cool, I'm a black belt. Call me sensei.
Yeah, like, honestly, call me professor.
Yep.
Because
that's what we do here.
I've been in school for the last 11 years, getting my ass whooped.
You got your education in how to heal someone, and I got my education on how to send them to you.
Yeah. But, like, I would never do that. That's like, people don't, like, a lot of times with me, it's a little, like, harder. But, like, Fabio, like, there are times when people are like, "Oh, what do you do?" And he's like, "Oh, I do this, I do that." And they'll find out, they'll be like, "Wait a minute, you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu?" And he's like, yeah. Like, he doesn't want to talk about it. With me, it's harder because they see the ears and they're like, "You do something," and I'm like,
dude,
I can't.
That's why I hate it so much, bro.
I know.
Like, so I'm planning on getting my nose fixed because I'm tired of sounding like this. And
your nose fit? What happened,
bro? I can't breathe. That's why I always sound like this. I don't know, so that's why I need to go see. I'm gonna call them and be like, "Hey, I just need this check," because for like 4 months now, like that, you've heard how I sound, and I'm always stuffy. I can't breathe. Then it was like completely shut off, bro. The other day I tried to mouth tape often. I legitimately couldn't breathe. I was just sitting there. I ripped the tape off because I was like, oh my God. Like, I was legitimately suffocating because my nose was not working at all. And so I'm going to go to the doctor and get it fixed. When I go see them, I'm going to ask, like, bro, if this is going to take a few weeks anyway, can we just fucking fix these? Or just scoop them?
Don't do that.
I'm going to fix it.
It's going to look so weird.
What, flattened out? I don't care. Better than this. I hate this so much.
I hate it too, but I don't want to deal with like the time because you can't train. Like if if you do the
So
surgery,
that's what I'm saying.
you can't
'Cause
train
they're
for
gonna-
a while
they're
because you
gonna
need
fix
the
my
cartilage.
nose.
to
So
heal.
that's
yeah,
so
no,
if
I
they do
understand.
that, that's
You're
why.
gonna do 2 at once.
So
yeah.
if I can't, I don't know if that's even allowed,
Yeah.
if that's a thing. But I'm gonna ask, like, dude, if you're putting me under anyway,
fix this.
can you? Because your ear, nose, and throat. Dog,
If I
like,
knew
fix it.
if I knew for a medical reason that I would have to and I'd be out anyways, I would get it done.
Yeah,
too,
that's
but
what. That's what
I just
I'm
don't want
saying.
to take the time to like.
But if he
do
was
it
like,
on
"Nah,
his own.
dude, we just numb it and then we're gonna fix it," then I'd be like, "All right, well,
Yeah.
it looks like I'm not gonna get it fixed then." But if he's like, "No, we're gonna put you under and do it,"
It is
I'm gonna ask,
annoying,
like,
bro.
dude, handle it all.
Everywhere we go, like if we're eating dinner, they'll be like, "Oh, you wrestled before? You do jiu-jitsu?
What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah, what do you do? Are you an MMA fighter?"
You a fighter?
Bro.
Oh, you know how to
One
throw,
guy
you know
was
how to-
convinced.
You know how to throw hands, right? Like,
One guy was convinced that tacos and tequila is like, "I've seen you in the UFC." I was like, "What?"
no, you didn't.
He's like, "I've seen you in the UFC." I was like, "No, you haven't." He's like, "No, man, I've seen you fight before." I was like, "I swear to
Tell-
God,
Tell me
you
my
have
stats,
not."
bro.
Like,
Tell
Danielle-
me my stats,
Bro, Danielle was like, "What?" I was like, "He doesn't know what he's talking about." I was like, "I never fought her before, like, not even close." But you know what it is? It's a topic. It's something people bring up, and like, it's annoying. But I don't know.
I just don't like.
I
I
just
hate
do
that.
it.
I hate it. Like, so I don't mind. Like, it's nice. So like when I did Summer Smash, the first form event,
Mhm.
I had some people. They noticed it, and then we were able to get to talking about jiu-jitsu. They just
Yeah.
started. They've been doing jiu-jitsu, and they've been really they've been liking it. And so when people see this, they think I've been doing it forever. I'm like, no, only a few years. I'm just an idiot. Like that's literally what I tell people. I'm just stupid. That's why I got these right now. But what's it called? That part's cool, but I don't like it when people open up and like, oh, dude, what do you fight? How do you fight? What do you do?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you like, are you a fighter? Like, do you do MMA?
Like picking and prying, I could always tell the difference.
yeah,
right away,
like when
whether
someone
they-
wants to have like a friendly conversation
Yeah.
with a hobby, or they're just
Or you ever have the guys like, "Huh," and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you doing right now?" Jiu-jitsu, and I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. Please stop. This is so cringy. A guy around the clock does that to me. An older guy. He like came up to me. He's like, "Oh, what's up, man?" I went to high five, and he arm dragged me. He's like, jiu-jitsu, and I was like,
should have tripped them.
"Why did you do this in public? People are looking at you. Hug me, basically." Like, okay, dude. Like,
Just trip them. Stupid.
I'm like, "Yeah, man, jiu-jitsu. Thanks for doing that in public." Like, I don't know. It's weird, but I don't know. People want to talk and have a
And
conversation.
I'm all about a conversation. I'm all about. I
I'm
can
down.
talk. So for me, I mean, you've been doing it way longer. You got 9 years on me?
Yeah, it gets boring after a while. Can I be honest? Like after
Oh,
a
sure.
while, trust me. In like 2 years, you get like, "Oh, this motherfucker gonna talk to me about jiu-jitsu right now."
So like that's what. So you know, this is the hard part. When I get addicted to something, it's hard. So fitness, I don't get bored talking about fitness.
Oh, really?
I love it, bro. I've been doing this shit for a decade now. I can talk about fitness. I can learn about it, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
I could talk to someone about jiu-jitsu if they know what they're talking about. Like I could talk to you about jiu-jitsu because you understand
You
and
can
you get
continue
it.
the conversation.
Correct.
It's not a one-sided.
When
thing.
I gotta talk to like somebody who's just watched the UFC and they're like, "Oh, I'm doing an armbar," I'm like, "That's
where
not
they
an
think
armbar."
they know.
Yeah.
So there's still again that. So it's the same thing with fitness too.
Yeah.
If someone thinks they know, like, so dog training. I love dog training too, right? So like I have all my little niches that I have. I just had this the other day in the vet, bro. I'm there getting my dogs taken care of. I start getting questions about dog training because they see my dogs. They're very well trained. Awesome, cool. I mean, they are walking advertisements. That's the point. I have my cards. I talk to this one. I talk to this one. I talk to this person. Then I had this other couple ask me, "So you're a dog trainer?" I was like, "Yeah." All right, so we need to get our dog worked on. Okay, cool. They start telling me things. I was like, all right, well, stop doing that for one. I start giving free advice. I don't care about giving free advice.
You
Like,
give a little bit of tips.
yeah,
and
yeah. I
stuff.
start giving them tips to start getting to work. If they actually call me, then we can hopefully be ahead of the game a little bit. Don't do this. So the first tip I always give people: don't go to a dog park. Right? Dog parks are a fight club waiting to happen for your dogs.
Yeah.
Most people don't know how to handle their dogs. Most dogs are uncontrollable.
Let me guess. They were like, "Oh, but I heard from this person you're supposed." Yeah.
Then they started doing that, and then they started telling me,
Okay,
"Oh,
clearly
but-
you don't want my
Yeah,
advice.
and then they go, but my dog is okay, except when there's a fence. I was like, yeah, that's called barrier aggression. That's why I don't want your dog in a dog park. Like, if you put your dog in a dog park, they can get barrier aggression, or if they just get them, oh, but my dog's perfect when it's with this other dog. Okay, well then,
Do you want my advice or
that's
not?
so.
as the
I looked at
professional?
them. I was like, so do you need dog training? It was like, well, yeah, my dog just doesn't listen. When? Well, usually in situations like this, then stop taking it there because they shouldn't be there anyway. Yeah, oh, but no, here, you need to listen. When the other dog comes involved, it's great until other people show up.
So then
I'm getting agita just thinking.
That's what
about
I'm
this
saying, bro. And I was
conversation.
just sitting, literally, and so luckily I had my book with me because I thought I was going to be at the vet for hours, but I left it because they grabbed me real quick, and so I had my book sitting on the counter, and it's the 32 Principles of Jiu-Jitsu from Henry Gracie, the book he just wrote.
Yeah.
And so I had it sitting there, and a lady was over there, and she saw it, and she's Brazilian, and so she hit me up. She was like, "Oh, hey, like I just saw it." She's like, "Are you Brazilian?" I was like, "No, I just trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, blah blah blah." And I was so happy because she like waved me over to get away from these people. Because I was like, dude, like,
Thank God.
yeah, I was like, why would you say that you want training, and then you start asking questions, and then you're gonna argue with me?
Yeah.
With every little bit of advice that I start telling them how to just do basic training with their dog. They'd be like, "Oh, we're not gonna try to do that. Like, that's just not gonna work." And I was like,
Then you don't want dog
"Yeah."
training.
I was like, "You don't need."
Then
dog
why
training."
are we doing? Why are we having this
That's what I
conversation?
mean. So right when she walked me over, I was like, "Excuse me," and that's it. And I was like, "I'm going over here because this conversation is going nowhere." And I'm talking to someone who thinks he knows everything.
Yeah.
When you're telling me the opening line was, "Hey, our dog needs dog training." You see my dogs, I tell you what to do, and then you argue. That's the
Because
weirdest thing
people
to me.
think they're gonna connect if they tell you some secret, like they think they know better in some sort of way, and it's like, you don't know better than me. I know you want to think you do,
Yeah.
but just listen to me. It's like
Please.
it's like
I'm not going to steer you the wrong way. I'm not going to try to lead you wrong.
the equivalent is like when I see people drill the move 1 or 2 times or 3 times, and they're like, "I'm good, I got the move," and I'm like, "Trust me, you don't." No, I got the move that you showed. I did it a couple of times. Dude, I've been doing this 11 years, and if I don't train that move often, I don't have the move. But you tell me after 5 minutes you have the move, come on, man. Just stop. Just stop. Like, you don't have it. Just keep training the move.
Bruce Lee, which everyone gives that man credit for the start of like MMA and then the real love of martial art. Like,
Yes.
he blew up martial arts
Yes.
in reality.
He's
His-
first
his-
one on
his-
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
for
his
martial arts, yeah.
his one of his famous lines was, "Don't fear the man that practiced 1,000 kicks one time. Fear the man that practiced one kick 1,000 times."
Exactly.
That's literally the essence of drilling. Like, dude,
Over
drill
and
and
over
drill
and
and
over.
drill.
And just when you think you got it, you don't.
Dude.
And keep drilling and drilling and drilling.
and it's like people will run into it. Like, I know, like Johnny always brings it up with my knee cut thing. I've been practicing the knee cut now for what, like 6 months straight.
Yeah.
I'm still not done. But from day one, where I remember when I first started practicing the knee cut, like actually trying to practice it, my knees would hurt because of how I slam. Now I slide it like easy.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's upper belts that I have to practice against, but it's like getting used to the passing, getting used to where to put here. There's so little intricate details
Yeah.
that I didn't get within the first month of training.
Yeah.
It wasn't the first day, the first month to where I'm at now.
But you're going to
with it.
become so excellent at this knee cut thing, like phenomenal, and you're going to go to a competition and you're just going to come across the guy that you go to do it. And even though you do it perfect 99.9% of the time, this one guy is going to be the one guy that you're like, what the fuck? And then you're going to go back to the drawing
Yeah.
board and have to practice again. Because there's always the guy out there who just has it.
And then
has
people,
it.
and people don't get that too. And,
They don't. They
so
think
the-
it's going to be impenetrable. No,
And
guess what? Nothing is impenetrable.
And I love Tom DeBlas. He posted something recently, and this is for competitors. It's because I know we have a lot of competitors at the gym now, which is awesome. But like, competition doesn't define you as a jiu-jitsu guy.
No.
Like, so like, it's something like I struggle with. Whenever a fresh loss happens, like you're gonna feel it. Like, you're
Yeah.
like, damn, I lost. Like, what the fuck have I been doing all this training for? But you have to look at it, and I loved what he said. He was like, you got better. That guy just beat you.
Yeah.
That was it. It's not that you suck. It's not that you're horrible. It's that guy beat you.
Yeah.
That's it. But if
That's
you look
it.
at where you were 3 months ago when you started your training camp for it, you are so much better than you were 3 months
Leading
ago.
up to it, yeah.
And so it's like, that's what matters, and that's what people need to really start focusing, especially
Because-
our competitors, is just make sure that loss year, even if you lose the first 10
Everybody
fucking
loses,
times,
dude.
Yeah.
Everybody loses. And like even the you said just now, like, oh, like when you have a fresh loss, like you feel it
Yeah.
afterwards, right? Even that over time, because like now it's been 3 years you've been training? 3?
Yesterday. Oh shit! Yesterday was 3 years. Fucking hell! Yesterday was
3
3
years,
years
right?
exact. Yeah.
Let me tell you, as you get to year 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at some point you're like, I compete so frequently that, okay, I lost today. Maybe the next day you dwell on it a little bit, But let me tell you, after the day, like when I lose, the next day I'm
I
like,
give
all
myself
right,
24 hours.
yeah, 24
hours.
hours is fine. I think it's acceptable.
That's
but-
a win. That's a win or loss.
Yeah,
Whether I
but-
win or lose, I'm not riding a win. For
No,
more than a
no,
day
no.
Because
But
again, I just got lucky that
after
day.
after 24 hours, it's like, all right, dude, like you lost or you won. Like, okay, move on to the next thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, were you gonna ride on that or be hard on yourself over that long? Me personally, I've gotten to the point where if I win, I'm happy that day and stuff. If I lose, yeah, I'm bummed out that day, but I go to bed and I go to bed peacefully. Like I don't like.
It's gotten a lot better.
I-
So my
yeah.
first few comps, my first like 2 to 3 comps,
I don't stay up all night like, oh, I can't believe I lost and this and
Think,
that and the world's over. Guess what? Tomorrow you get back to
it
training.
was my first comp I medaled. It was my third comp. My first 2 comps I medaled.
Yeah.
I got first and I got third in both of those comps. So I was bringing home medals.
Yeah.
I think it was my third. It was either my third or fourth comp. No, it was my fourth. My fourth comp. I didn't bring home anything.
Yeah.
And that crushed me because it was the first comp where I didn't get anything. And I was
Yeah.
like, man.
But this is
And
important.
then, yeah, but afterwards, like, I recovered quicker off of that than I did with the others where I got like third or something because I sat on it for longer. But then this one, I was like, wait, like, I showed up to the gym the next day because it was over a weekend comp.
Yeah, you have
And
to.
I showed up to the gym and I was like, I was happy here. Everyone was just like, "Oh, you did great." And
Yeah.
so I was like, and obviously, like, there's still that thought, like,
And
if
this
I
is
did great, I
also-
wouldn't lose. But like, it's still that aspect, like, oh no, like,
Yeah. It's
I'm
not
still
over.
here. Yeah.
The
'Cause
sun
then-
comes up tomorrow.
Then I think that one is when I had a competition literally like a month later. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm going to compete. No, it was like 2 weeks or something. It was
I
real
can't
quick.
change what happened yesterday. I
Yeah.
got to start looking forward to the next one. That's why it's important that if you're a competitor, if you're a serious competitor, that you compete frequently because those people who compete like once a year, or twice a year, they put too much pressure. Like, I got to win this comp. I got to win this comp because I'm not going to compete till who knows the next
Yeah.
one. I always have 2 or 3 comps lined up. So if I lose the next one, hey, listen, next month there's another one, or 2 weeks from now there's another one, and we got to move forward towards the next one. That's how it has to be. If you compete once or twice a year, that's when you fuck yourself because you're like, I don't know when I'm going to compete.
There was
again.
actually great advice that I heard on a podcast. It was this Olympic skier, I think he was. Like, he's like one of the slope skiers or something like that. He did something in the Olympics, either way. And one of the things that he had to work on is he made his whole identity being the Olympic skier.
You can't do that.
And so that was his big issue. And
can't
so
do
this is
that.
something that was talked about is you can't make it your identity. Like, bro, you're more than the jiu-jitsu competitor.
Yeah.
You're more than the guy that shows up at the gym, which was a big deal for me. And that's where it also hit me because that was my 4th or 5th. I was still training like 5 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I was over at New World. I was here. I was training a lot. And then I brought home nothing.
Yeah.
And so that's what hit me because all I was thinking, I was like, this is what I am. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here so much.
can't.
I can't lose. And then I was like, no, everyone can lose.
Bro, when you you back yourself into a corner when you become the guy
Yeah.
of, like, I'm the jiu-jitsu guy, I'm the fitness guy, I'm the dog training guy. You can't put yourself in one box alone. It's just not how humans work. You got to be multidimensional. You don't just do jiu-jitsu 24 hours a day. You don't just do dog training 24 hours a day. It has to be separate things of your life because when you put it's that putting your eggs in one basket. And when you do that and they crash,
You crash,
everything
then
cracks.
everything's gone. And it's not saying like don't be dedicated. Like
Bro,
when I
that's
show
why
up
I
to
do magic. That's why, like, when people are
You
like,
have
"Oh my
hobbies.
god, you're a nerd." Yeah, because hey, if I have a bad day at jiu-jitsu, I go play magic. I don't care. I get my mind off
Exactly.
it. Or I go to a gym and work out. Or I go and I do X, Y, Z.
You have all these
to have
other
other
things.
things.
And that's where it's really important is being able to
Multi-dimensional people. That's
but
what
that
keeps a
doesn't
good
that doesn't mean not
balance.
to be dedicated. Like when I show up to jiu-jitsu,
No one's
I'm-
saying
I'm-
have
yeah.
20 hobbies.
I'm 100% in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But when I'm out of jiu-jitsu, it's over.
Yeah.
Like I'll talk about it and I'll enjoy it, but jiu-jitsu's over.
Yeah.
If I had a bad roll, whatever. If
Yeah.
I had great rolls, whatever. But I'm out.
That's why I think I don't like to talk about jiu-jitsu outside jiu-jitsu when somebody brings
Yes,
it
'cause
up
you
to
got
me.
something
Because
else, yeah.
when I'm out to dinner with my friends, I don't want to talk to the waiter about, oh, you have cauliflower, you must do jiu-jitsu. I'm here to be with my friends right now.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about jiu-jitsu, come train. Let's talk about it then.
So that's also what I think. That's also
Yeah.
how I lead it to every single person that tries to bring it up. I'm like, come to the gym.
Yeah. Just
We'll-
come
we'll-
and experience
We'll
it.
talk there.
Yeah.
We'll have a great time there. That is the time where I could give you that
Yeah.
100% focus. But
I
like,
don't
outside
want
of
to
that,
talk
like,
about
I'm going.
jiu-jitsu outside. I don't want to watch tape in my free time and watch all these things 24 hours a day watching. Or I'll watch a match here and they're like, oh, okay, this is a really cool match. Let me watch it.
highlights.
Yeah, I'll watch that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to dedicate a lot of my life to like, oh, I gotta spend 10 hours a day watching shit. Come on, dude. Come on. That's too crazy.
With that, guys, make sure you're multidimensional. You guys have to make sure that you are.
Do a podcast, play Magic, do jiu-jitsu, dog train, go to the gym,
do things.
buy First Form products because they're delicious and really good for you. And we'll see you guys next week for episode 57. Peace.